Hello, You Can Heal family. All right, so I was downstairs all set to read to you for tuck-in time, and here comes Blessing, hungry, just down there banging things around and talking to me, and a whole lot happening. So yeah, I just walked upstairs and I am in my room now reading. I almost just said, just go to bed, Shena. Just go on to sleep. But no, we're going to read this here chapter. We are on chapter 15. If this is your first time, my name is Shena Major, and we are reading the book Destiny by T.D.Jake as part of our Tuck-In playlist. And it's just hearing good information as you settle down and settle in for the night. Hopefully you're all cozy in your jammies and you're just ready to let some good information get down deep in your heart. All right, so with that being said, let's get started. And yes, I do have my water. Now I hope I don't put myself to sleep reading to you. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure. This chapter is pretty long, so I'm just gonna read until I'm too tired to read. All right, here we go. Chapter 15. Hear Destiny's voice. Step aside to listen for Destiny's authentic call. I went to visit one of our church members who was incarcerated at a maximum security facility for prisoners with emotional and mental dysfunction, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, etc. As I passed through the corridors, one inmate introduced himself to me as God. Others said they heard voices telling them to harm someone or to commit some terrible act. After the visit, I talked with my member's doctor, and when she spoke about patients who hear voices, I told her, actually, there's really not much difference between what you do and what I do. We both deal with people who have problems and hear voices. We all hear voices that can have an impact on our destiny decisions. Voices that tell us you're not good enough, you're wasting your time, they'll never choose you, or you're not going to get the job, so just skip the interview. Voices remind you of your past so that you continue to live in shame and fear of being exposed, a dangerous form of bondage that will cause you to let destiny opportunities pass you by. Sometimes the voices are old friends, alter egos, for example, the voice that tells you to give the boss a piece of your mind while you're standing in his face smiling. A voice tells you to quit when a situation gets too hard, to walk away from a spouse of 30 years, or to do something that goes against your values because no one will ever find out. You meet a man or a woman for the first time and a voice says, "That's the one." We all hear voices. We have to decide which voices we will heed. Every day you choose which voices you will listen to. The voices that you pay attention to are the ones that will manifest in your life. If you've turned your heart and your head toward destiny, train your mind to hear positive, affirming voices that offer wisdom. Monitoring the voices you follow is critical. The internal voices you hear have to be brought under control because you carry those with you 24 hours a day. There's no escape from them. Those voices are with you while you're being interviewed for that dream job of a lifetime. Those voices speak while you're on a date with the person you hope may be the one you'll marry. You hear them when you look at yourself in the mirror, and again when you look at someone else and compare yourself to them. When you look at your bank balance, you hear a voice. When you look at someone who seems to have it all, you hear voices. Voices that say you're not enough can derail your destiny. But when you recognize that you have the power to change those voices, you can become unstoppable. Internal streams of critical commentary can be empowering or damaging, but so can the voices of the people around you. External voices have the power to shape how you feel, what you do, everything about you, from your wardrobe to your career choice or the spouse you pick. Friends, loved ones, and even enemies influence us, but that doesn't mean their comments are relevant to your destiny. When my oldest sons, twins, Jamar and Jermaine, were younger, they told me how to put on a baseball cap. No, Daddy, you can't wear the cap like that. That's not how they're wearing them anymore. So I curved the bill of the cap like they showed me and put it on my head, appropriately dressed to be seen in public. Years later, when my youngest son Dexter looked at my curved baseball cap, he said, "No, Daddy, you can't go out with me looking like that. The cap needs to be worn low and the brim needs to be straight." Twice I was influenced to change how I wear something as inconsequential as a hat by people who care about me. We are swayed by other people's opinions about way more important life decisions. We've all made choices based on someone else's opinion whose voice mattered to us. It's good to seek the advice and wise counsel of the people you trust, but you can be so influenced by other voices that you might never reach your destiny. If you're listening to those who say you should be a Harvard professor, although you're a kindergarten teacher, and that is your destiny, you will not find satisfaction with your destiny until you close your ears to them. Now, let me take a minute. I hope that came across clear because I was in my bed and I was sitting really low, and I hope that came across clear. So, hold on, I need some water. Water. Alright. Oh, I hoped you just enjoyed the music on that little break there. Now, the next section is You Can't Tell Everybody. One of the saddest realities we must face about life is that everybody is not going to be happy when we prosper. People, haters, can't stand your dreaming of a better life, despise your happiness, turn their nose up at you because you take extra care in your speech and appearance. They get angry when you find a better job or a new love. They stop speaking to you when you give up negative behaviors. The more your dreams evolve into reality, the closer you get to destiny, the greater target you become for negative opinions of others. People who don't even know you may form impressions about who they think you are and what you do. They will critique whether you're qualified, intelligent, attractive, competent, sophisticated, or savvy enough for whatever you're doing. They'll always conclude that you're not enough and you have no business going after destiny. You can't please a hater. Haters are such an integral part of your journey forward that you can almost categorize them. Some say they can do whatever you've done better. Others minimize your accomplishments. There are critics of your desire to succeed who accuse you of being self-serving, dishonest, or immoral. And let's not forget those who throw up your past to discredit or disqualify you, reminding anyone who will listen what you did 20 years ago. But perhaps the most pain is inflicted by the haters who smile at you and they plot your demise. The vitriol, now did I say that right? vitriol, of all these haters is nothing compared to the betrayal of one you loved and trusted and who claimed to take care about you and claimed to care about you. Be strong enough to stand up again, even after haters make you drop to your knees. All of that negative drama is enough to make you say to destiny, never mind. But don't you dare satisfy your haters by quitting, making yourself happy by fulfilling your dream. There's no other path to success. The road that gives you fulfillment, purpose, and joy as it takes you to destiny is always peppered with jealous, envious, and angry people whose venomous darts are aimed squarely in your direction as you travel. The hurt may make you stumble, but don't stop and waste time on revenge or retaliation or even reply, because the old saying is true: success is the best revenge. A well-known comedian put it this way: it's a hater's job to hate. It's what they do. That's true, but haters are also judgers and gossipers. Be sure to examine yourself so you don't begin doing what haters do. Avoid comparing yourself with others, saying you can better do what they do, putting down their accomplishments, criticizing their desire to succeed, calling out self-serving, dishonest, or immoral behavior, or bringing up their past. Gossip is hater activity. So is listening to gossip, which you can cut short by interrupting the gossiper with, "I don't need to know," and steering the conversation to another subject. Seek your destiny and do not worry about others. Only God knows the full story of everyone's destiny. You don't, so you're not equipped to judge. If you find yourself rooting against anyone's success, I encourage you to focus on yourself, what you do best, and march to your own destiny. Do not let yourself become a hater. Before you get to the place that is calling you, recognize whom you can talk to about your destiny and whom you can't. Dream killers will question your ability, your preparation, and even your worthiness to live your dream. Their negative voices are always more than eager to offer an opinion. Often such disparaging commentary comes from those who have accomplished very little. They don't want you to either. Are you lagging behind in fulfilling your destiny because you're listening to negative voices? Learn to be selective about whom you share your dreams with. Some can't handle it. People with low aims can actually cause you to feel guilty or foolish for daring to have a dream. It's hard to dare for destiny when everyone around you sees drug dealing and prison as the predestined fate, and a blue-collar union job is their dream ceiling. It's tough to be open about your destiny as a medical missionary when all your classmates are bragging about being recruited by top hospitals. It's scary to confess that your destiny is to marry the man you love and be a stay-at-home mother when your girlfriend talks about a woman's need to make her own money. Nothing is wrong with what they want. Nothing is wrong with what you want. That you dare to have different dreams can scare people, especially those in the comfort zone. When you encounter such reactions, make a mental note to protect your dream from such persons and understand the reason for their fright, anger, or intimidation has nothing to do with you or what you are destined to do. Rather than sharing your dreams with people who can't understand or don't matter, spend time talking with yourself about what destiny holds for your future. Hear your own voice, affirm your vision. See yourself as prosperous before you get the money in the bank. No, don't buy things you can't afford. Relate to money as if you were rich. The wealthy, especially those who earn their money and were not born into it, tend to respect money and are good stewards of the resources. They are not often foolish with money. Affirm financial prosperity deep within you so you are already that rich person when you reach your financial destiny. If you're not living your destiny as your journey, you won't be able to live it after you reach your destiny. Destiny is not only a destination, a goal, a dream, a purpose. It is an inner process of becoming all you were meant to be. You are educated before you get the degree. Couples are married long before they reach the altar. You are the supervisor before you get the title. If you're not supervisor material, you still won't be one even after you get the job. If you're not a good husband or wife material, you still won't be one after you say, I do. Your mind is already where you were called to be while you await the actual fulfillment. As you strive for destiny, your vision may function at a higher level than your opportunity, which can create frustration. On the inside, you can feel what is calling to you, yet nothing on the outside, and no one validates your feeling. Hold your destiny close to your heart. Keep listening to your own voice. Hold on to your revelation. Avoid sharing your calling. Everyone is not worthy of knowing your inner voices. Don't give the haters an opening to tear you down. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read one more section. It's called An Opinion is Just That. I'm feeling, I'm not feeling that good right now. My stomach is actually kind of hurting. And I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. So I am going to read this last section, and then the next time, we come back together, it looks like we'll finish the chapter. All right, so here we go. An opinion is just that. People who knew me during my younger years would not have chosen me to do what God has positioned me to do. Back in West Virginia, when I was working in a chemical plant and preaching when opportunities arose, I would not have been the number one pick to have a 30,000 member international ministry. Most would have expected me to take over my father's custodial service business. At every turn of my life, people speculated how I would end up, what I would be or do, and most of the time they were wrong. That's why opinions don't matter. Often God chooses the least likely to get the promotion, grant, spouse, or prize. Right now, somebody doesn't think you're qualified to do what you're doing or have what you have. They don't think you're smart enough, wealthy enough, sexy enough, skinny enough, or friendly enough. A mother who doesn't think you're good enough to marry her son, a socialite who thinks you have no business coming to her gated community or dormant building, a business mogul who thinks your entrepreneurial ideas belong in the toilet. Their opinion is nothing more than their interpretation of you. They do not understand or know you, and they are not privy to your destiny. Allow yourself to listen to those voices, and you'll spend a lifetime defending yourself and your actions. If they get wind of your destiny vision, they are likely to say, you, of all people, will never make it happen. That's their opinion. Ignore them. Your future depends solely on what God has created you to do. I'm so glad I didn't pay attention to what other people might have said about my life and my chances for success. Now, did you catch that last sentence in that last paragraph? It said, your future depends solely on what God has created you to do. As long as we're seeking that purpose and seeking God's will and moving towards God's plan, That's what matters. Not what others think. Not other people's opinions. Not those voices in our head that are telling us this or that. It's really, what does God say? What did He create you to do? That's real good. That's real good. Oh, it looks like my battery's dying. Okay. All right, You Can Heal family. This, starting this chapter was interesting because it started off talking about voices that people are hearing, and remember, he was dealing with a church member he went to visit who was in a maximum security facility and who had some mental dysfunction, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, etc. And that really struck me as I was reading it. Now, if you listen to the study with me this morning, I was talking about a word that was in the Bible, straw, and how it totally distracted me. Even though you guys were hearing me read it, my mind was just thinking about other things. And that happened again tonight, because when I started this, and T.D.Jake was talking about the mental health issue and the bipolar disorder, that reminded me of some incidents that I have been in, because when I was younger, I was diagnosed with bipolar, and I've dealt with the voices. I mean, listen, I have been through it. But God is so real, and He's so good, and He straightens everything out. And that's why I'm encouraging you right now to just stay focused on God, stay focused on your Creator and what He's got planned for you, because no matter what you've been through, what people have said about you, how they view you, what they think of you, none of that matters. What matters is what God thinks, and what is He calling you to, what is He telling you to do, what's your purpose, and what's His divine plan for you. That's what we should concern ourselves with. So that was a really good first half of the chapter. So we'll pick up the next time, and the next section is called Avoid the Deceptive Lure of Popularity. Okay? All I think about is back in school, there was always the groups, the popular kids, the jocks, you had all these groups. So avoid the deceptive lure of popularity. So that's where we'll pick up. So thank you for joining me for Talkin' Time. And I love you, You Can Heal family. Thanks for listening. And always, always remember that true healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God is love, and He lives on the inside of you. Good night.